Where do I start? Where do I begin? How do I start?
So I'm worried. I can't even say it. That's how fearful I am. I don't like being the centre of attention. I'm afraid to be the person that people are looking at and looking to. And so that makes me fearful about sharing joy, because that is about looking at me. So I can be joyful, I can do that every single day, that's not a problem. I can be joyful and I can, like, ninja style, bring joy into other people's lives. But if I'm going to make a conscious decision to share joy out loud, then that means becoming the centre of attention for that message. So the only way I think that I can deal with that is to make joy the centre of attention, and being joy is the centre of attention, not me. And that will enable me to share that message of joy and being okay with it, and that's okay. Like, this is the most scary thing in the world. I can't believe to sit here and say something that's me, that's absolutely 100% me, and just share that with you and say, this is what I'm going to talk about, this is what I'm going to create in the world. That's scary, to just sit here like this and say that out loud. That brings fear here. Not here though. Thank you.
Okay, so what I don't want you to know about me is that I'm taking a break from drinking alcohol. And the reason I'm doing that is I felt like it was getting some kind of grip in my life in a way that I didn't like. So I don't mean I was having a drink every day, because it wasn't that, but it was on the days when I was making a conscious choice, I would have this a lie to myself. I'll just have a glass of wine with my dinner. And one glass of wine was never what happened. There would always be another one, and perhaps another one. And by that stage, there'd be nibbles and cheese and other things going on with it. So I was consuming more than I ever possibly needed. And if I made the choice, I won't have the glass of wine, none of that other stuff happened. So I decided, well, I'm not the kind of person who this is something that's an issue. Oh, I know, I can just choose when I want to do it, and I'll choose when I don't. And so I went through a few weeks of going, yeah, I'll just do choosing, but choosing when it was a yes, ended up back in the same old place, and I didn't like it. So I've taken a choice. I took it on Monday. I had a one-to-one buddy call with Anne Skinner, some of you will know her, and we just explored it, and she asked me a great question and just got me, when I was describing it, she said, well, where in your body are you feeling that? And I realised it was here. And so she just asked me something like, so what's that part of your body saying to you? And I realised that bit of my body was saying, take a break. And I said it out loud, and I've made that commitment. And the great thing about it is I don't have to have the dialogue with myself anymore. You know, when I go home to cook dinner tonight, it might cross my mind, but I've made the commitment I'm not doing it till Easter, and then I'll just reevaluate. And the piece of me, what I don't want you to know about me is I don't like it, that it's something that I feel I need to address. And I have some shame about even saying it out loud to other people. And I know it's something that happens to lots of people, but still just doesn't make it, I'm not that kind of person, is what's going on for me. But I am. So I want to deal with it. There you go.
Okay.
So what I'll share is I'll share what I don't want you to know about me. And it was from earlier today because there's 7 of us in this room. And that means when we went into pairs, there was going to be 1 person left out. And I had some fear around that. Just a little bit. And then of course when it came to it, I was that person. And I experienced this for a moment, that feeling of being not wanted, of being rejected. And I think that's what, that's been my fear that stopped me doing so many things, is that fear of not being a part of things, of being rejected. So I don't step into that place because then it won't happen. So I don't put myself in places where I might be rejected because then it's painful. So I felt that and I resonated with it because I was like, oh, everyone picked someone else, they didn't pick me. So that means I'm not good enough. And then I just asked to join another group. And I was welcomed. And there's always a lesson for that.
Oh God. See, I'm picking the best one. What? I don't know. Well, I do this and I don't know why I do it, but I'm ashamed that I do it. But I always worry or think about what people think about my looks. Even though I don't judge anybody on their looks at all, I always worry about it on my looks. And I don't know why, but and I don't want anyone to know that. So that's very hard for me to say. So I always think I have to look perfect all the time. Not perfect, I don't know how to describe it. I don't know how to describe it. But maybe something from my dad saying you have to look your best all the time. I don't know. So I think about that a lot. And I'm ashamed that I do. There you go.
I've just been to a talk by someone called Johnny Hanna, and I was a little bit jealous of the quantity of work he's produced, the spontaneity in his work. I was thinking, I can do this. He's into lots of things I'm into. He's into comics, doing comics, he's into pop art. He played clips of music, he talked about himself, his town, and I was like, I could do this. Why haven't I done this? So that's the immediate thing that comes to my mind.
Okay. What I don't want you to know about me is, for the first time last year, I told my dad I love him. And for most people, that wouldn't be an issue. It would be like, I love you, Mum, I love you, Dad. Often it's a reflex action. I love you back. I never had that with my dad because I never felt it.
Where do I start? Where do I begin? How do I start?